Howdy, y'all. Los here. Welcome to another episode of Bonsai-YEAH. This week, we're talking to Jay from Blue Jay Bonsai. His channel is growing, and he's a wonderful hobbyist of bonsai. We talk about his beginnings in YouTube, his beginnings in bonsai generally. We also talk about his friendship with Nigel and how he loves that man, as we all do. So, kick back, relax, and let's meet our new friend, Blue Jay Bonsai. Let's go. Blue Jay Bonsai.
Yeah.
Tell us, who are you? And I know who you are, but for someone who hasn't watched Bonsai-YEAH before, who are you? Tell me about your channel a bit.
Okay. Yeah, so obviously my name is Jay. And ever since I was a kid, my mom called me Jaybird. And I always had a love and appreciation of jaybirds or blue jays, gray jays, the whole works. I even have some, blue jay artwork and things like that. It's always been something that I was drawn to. And of course, the color blue. So when I did start the YouTube channel, for me, it just seemed like a natural thing to do, was to use the Blue Jay name. The funny part is I had, just for fun, taken one of the little Blue Jay bird statues I have and plopped it on top of my larch, my little larch clump, and took a photo of it. And that sort of became the logo and sort of solidified the idea for the name as well. My real name is Jay, on my birth certificate, Jay. So it is not a nickname, but it really goes back to the start of the pandemic. And, with everything being shut down, and I wanted to buy some more houseplants. Since we were indoors so much, I wanted to get a few of the nice, air purifying houseplants to add. And I was online shopping, and some of the sites actually were selling little bonsais. But I looked at the price and I thought it was ridiculous. And I thought, oh, bonsai, I haven't thought about that in many years, since probably, Karate Kids, when I was like 12, 13 years old. So I didn't think too much about it. And I actually did buy some houseplants. But then through the magic, of Google and YouTube, lo and behold, bonsai videos started appearing in my YouTube stream. And
they're watching you.
Yeah, exactly. So some of the first ones mostly were Peter Chan, Heron's Bonsai. And I started watching him regularly. But at that time, I still thought that, you had to be a bonsai expert, own a bonsai nursery like Peter. And then, of course, I started watching like Ryan Neal and Marai and Bjorn, SAN. And same thing, I'm like, oh, these guys, they went to Japan and they apprenticed for 6 years. You need to do something like that. So I appreciated the bonsai. I thought it was beautiful and I admired it, but I didn't realize it was something that you could do yourself as a hobby. And then YouTube showed me, Nigel Saunders. And I started watching Nigel. And for me, it's almost like if you've ever seen the movie Ratatouille, where the chef, anyone can cook, right?
Yeah.
And so with Nigel, I was like, anyone can do bonsai. And I was like, what? It's like, go out and get stuff from your backyard, to try any type of tree, any kind of plant, whatever you want. Just have fun, grow things, enjoy nature. And my mind was blown. And I was like, what? I don't have to go to Japan for 6 years. I don't have to give up, my work and and everything. I can just do this as a fun hobby. And then when I found out, after watching a few of his videos, that he actually lived in the general area, I ran and told my wife, hey, Jennifer, guess what? I can do bonsai. I don't have to just admire it. I can actually do it myself. And, since it was in the pandemic, I did actually, kind of go out in the backyard in the spring and, dig up a couple of little things in the bushes and, get a tree from my neighbor's yard and start hacking at things. But the first thing that I actually purchased or, related to bonsai was, actually, I think I have it here. It was,
You still have it.
yeah, I don't know if you see that. This little Portulacaria afra. And this
Very
little
nice.
And that's all I wanted originally, was just something cute, in the background in my office or to look at while I was working. And I just actually got this. It was actually a little tiny cutting, about yay big. And I got it, found a guy on the, like a local, online marketplace. it's called Kijiji here, but it's like Craigslist or something like that. And I bought it off him, and we sort of became friends. And yeah, I had that one ever since, and that was probably my first real bonsai.
Yeah, being conscious of it and everything. Did you ever have one previously, like from off the road, the guy selling it out of his van?
No, and that's the funny thing. I know, say compared Canada to the US, especially my friend Tom from Growing Clip Bonsai, he's always telling me about stuff that he's picking up, at the big box stores or equivalent. And I've come to, I've compared the US versus Canadian, let's say Home Depot website as an example. It's just too much of a pain to get a lot of those trees or plants imported into Canada, or to pay for all the phytosanitary certificates and stuff. So they just don't do it. So when you go to the big box store here, you'll find some plants and house plants. They don't actually sell any bonsai like you would see in the big box stores. So in all my, let's say, travels, I never really came across even Malzai, or anything like that. I didn't come across that. If I had, I probably would have bought one years ago, and I might have got into this sooner. When you read the books, especially the older books, and they say start keeping record, start tracking everything about your tree, on paper forms, and they give you sample forms. Even the club, will give you a sample form, and then say, well, you can also take photos and save photos and organize them. And then Nigel said, hey, take video. It's so much easier. And I thought, okay, I'm lazy. I'm just going to take video of everything. And just like Nigel says, I can go back and look at the trees and see the progression or see what I did the last time. And so I did it because I was a bit lazy and I didn't want to fill out all these forms. And lo and behold, I ended up turning it into YouTube because I thought, okay, well,
Might
why
as
don't I
well.
do? Might as well, right? I got the video. I actually had been recording just for my own purposes or for my family, just to see what was happening. And I said, oh, what the heck? I'll just put up a couple of videos. And I never expected really anyone to really subscribe. I thought, okay, maybe some of the club members, especially my friends and a few family, because I haven't been doing it that long. I don't really have great trees or anything, but there's a lot of other people in the same boat. They are new, they're beginners. They like to see beginner trees. They like to see how a beginner does things and learn from my mistakes or learn from the things that I've learned. And even some of the trees that I have, I've run it by Nigel first, before I worked on it. Like my little parrot beak, my Melina, I took that to Nigel's, and he spent like half an hour with me walking through, all the branch movement and the different possibilities and why, So when I said, oh, I would probably cut this one, and he'd explain to me why maybe this might be a better choice or this might be a better choice. And the other recommendation that he'd give and I would give as well is like joining a club. If you have access to a club, join it. The amount of knowledge you get from firsthand instruction like that, from your friends and the senior members in clubs is just invaluable. So between that, some one-on-one time with Mr. Boxwood, who's another club member, really can help elevate and rapidly improve your bonsai game, let's just say. Versus struggling on your own just from watching videos and reading books. You might think you're doing well, but having that one-on-one in real life just really makes a difference. And for the people who have started bonsai during the pandemic, we never got to experience normal club life. So our president will talk about all us newbies. We all joined the Toronto Bonsai Society during the pandemic. We haven't experienced the regular monthly meetings in person, bringing your tree, getting advice, sharing advice. We've been looking to alternative mediums, and so Nigel especially and other YouTubers have really filled that gap for us. So if you can take that, what you're learning every day on YouTube, and then add some in-person help and instruction, I think it's going to make a big difference for a lot of us going forward.
Absolutely. And I think I remember, I don't know if I told this to Nigel or not, but the knowledge that we get from YouTube, and the knowledge that we can acquire so quickly from bonsai videos like his and many others, we can progress our bonsai knowledge so quick that someone who's been practicing for 10 years, maybe 20 years ago, and they're 10 years in, we can acquire that knowledge, within half the time, and be able to apply it, which is so great because of all that extra information we can get, or things that we can just straight ask. There's a computer that we go ask and it'll give us an answer. So
that is true. Yeah. Yeah.
it is very cool to have the YouTube, and I love being part of it and contributing to it. And I do love the cataloging part of it. That's what really intrigues
Yeah.
me, because if you've been doing it as long as Nigel, you're going to see some results. Right now, we're all just kind of getting started. So ours are 6-month progressions. Let's see the 6-year progression.
Exactly. I'll look at some of my little trees and go, oh, that thing hasn't grown at all. Oh, it's so slow. And then, I'm putting together a video for it because I'm pruning it or repotting. And I like to include a little clip from the last time, I had some video. And I grab a clip of the old video and I put it up and I'm like, oh my God, it's doubled in size. I didn't even realize it. So yeah, that video is really invaluable.
So how was like the first year going on, go for you? Did you lose a lot? Did you, God, I mean, did you get into a lot of freezing?
Well, like I said, this is actually my first overwintering for outdoor hardy type trees. My first year into it, I was only doing like indoor tropical trees. So that went quite well, except, as people know, I did have a little Eugenia rush cherry that I had, and I was so excited. I have to repot it. Of course, you get a tree, you must repot it, right?
Yeah.
You must repot it, you must wire it, you must chop it, you must do everything right away. Or foolishly, this is what I was thinking as a newbie. And of course, to repot it, I needed akadama. And so I had ordered some akadama off of Amazon, repotted the thing, and it died about a month later. And when I pulled it out, it was just mud. It was like just a clay that muck that it turned into. And I later, I looked into it some more, and I found out that there's such a thing as soft akadama versus hard akadama.
Ooh.
And I had actually purchased soft, and indeed it had turned to mud on my little tree.
Turned to clay. You can make a pot out of it now.
Yeah. If only. And that is, part of the. Might have been even around the time when I had stumbled across Nigel, or I think I'd seen some of his videos, but I actively went, searching for more of his videos and found his bonsai soil recipe, video about making
Fuller's earth, perlite, and some pine bark, if you wish.
Yeah. Before that, it was hilarious. I spent so much time worrying about soil. I was obsessed. I'm like, where do I get it? How do I buy it? Especially during the lockdowns and everything. I didn't know what to do, and then I saw Nigel's recipe, and I'm like, okay, let me give that a try. And so luckily, I was able to get the Fuller's Earth, the Safety Zorb, even from the same stores that he purchased it from, some big bags of perlite and some pine bark, and mix my own. And I've never looked back. So ever since then, I've been using that for just about everything. And knock on wood, it works great, for everything. I don't stress about soil anymore. I just know I have a recipe that works like 99% of the time, let's say. Except I think it would work for my desert roses. But I actually go with something a little bit more completely inorganic for those. But
Okay.
It would work. I know a few people growing desert roses in Nigel's mix.
You've got a couple, a son or two to help you with bonsai?
So I have 2 sons from my first marriage, fraternal twins, James and Jacob. And James is the one who's into bonsai and also works on the channel with me. And then my wife has 2 sons from her first marriage. So altogether we have 4 boys. And
It's
so
a Brady bunch over there, ain't it?
it is, and they're now 18, almost 18, and 15.
Oh,
So-
yes. Your job's almost done, man.
Yes, and part of it is the timing. As much as I would have loved to go back in time and start bonsai earlier, I don't know if I would have had the time. But whereas now the kids are at an age where they can drive and do the activities by themselves, and you have a little bit of I actually have some free time now compared to before, and maybe I'm feeling that free time instead of nurturing children. I'm nurturing trees and plants.
We're nurturers, yes, indeed. Do you do any wiring, or are you clip and grow guy? What's
That's a
what's
good
your
question.
preference?
Well, as a beginner, I'm really open to learning everything in all styles. I don't think I'm ready to commit to just one style, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
So, and as you know, I love Nigel. I mean, I would not be into bonsai without Nigel. I would not have started the channel without Nigel, and my channel would not have grown so much without Nigel. So of course, I mean, I love clip and grow, and I've seen his trees in real life up close, and it's true. If you have the patience, there's nothing that compares to a clip and grow tree. The the movement, no scars, nothing, just beautiful. You just
Yeah.
can't imagine it. But gosh, I find wiring fun. I
Yeah.
enjoy it. And I love that feeling of that sort of instant bonsai, right? You can get, some kind of a conifer wired up, put a few twists, and people will go, hey, that's a bonsai. Like they'll recognize that. But when you do the clip and grow, and you take that tree and you chop it right back down to this little tiny stick, and people are like, oh, why do you have a stick in a pot, right? So I kind of like having both. So I have some I'm doing clip and grow, some I'm doing with wiring in that, and I'm sort of comparing, like, see how they do, and I'm hoping that the clip and grow ones over time might end up being like the true masterpieces. But now in the meantime, I get to appreciate the ones that I've wired as sort of bonsai right now.
Absolutely. And I hope we can come back in 10 years to see progress on all those, man. We can have
Yeah.
another, we'll both be gray, more gray, I
Grayer,
guess. Yeah. You can't really tell over here, I guess. Got good light and it's covering it up real good.
Yeah, I will just. How old are you?
I am 37. I was born in 84.
Oh, okay.
So whatever that is, 37. I just stopped counting after 30. I'm up
So,
there.
so you have time to get some really nice trees.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm
and
50.
50, my man.
I turned 50 last summer, so I'll be 51 this August. And so on
Still
the one
spring
hand,
chicken.
well, yeah, I mean, in terms for bonsai, it's like there's a lot of people don't get into it until this age, right? So I'm like, okay, 10 years, in 10 years I'll be 60. I'm still young, my joke is I have to stick around for at least another 50 years, so I'll have some really good trees. So it's I have this incentive now. Of course, my family and kids, that wasn't enough of an incentive. but now I have trees, so I have to live for another 50 years just so that I can have really good trees.
You know what I found is difficult with having bonsai, so many bonsai now, is being able to take a few days away from the house. That's always a struggle for me. I've got it sort of under control because I got all of that irrigation, as you can see now, and I'll just pile everything in the greenhouse and make sure the irrigation goes on every couple hours or something, and I'll get away with it for a couple days. But I don't know if I'd be able to even take a week off away from the house.
Yeah, I mean, luckily with my kids at the age they are, well, I definitely trust James to water if I was away, and that's the thing now. I do vacations, with the wife versus big family vacations like when they're younger. So if I do so, as an example, in August, my wife and I are going to Nashville. She's going to be playing in a handbell ding 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 concert with her choir from church choir, and doing some workshops. And so while I'm there, I'm going to go see Bjorn at SCN. And I already talked to him, and he said I could, record it, do a tour.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, prepare for more subscribers.
So that's going to be a good one. I can't wait. But anyways, so that's going to be my first big, like away for, 10 days or something. So God willing, the kids, especially James, will take care of the trees.
Hopefully he films a couple things just so that you can kind of incorporate it into the video.
We'll see. Yeah, if I didn't have older kids that I could trust, I don't know. Well, luckily I have one of the club members, Vince, who's been in a couple of my videos. He actually lives, like, I can walk to his house. So in a pinch, I could ask him. But
That's great to have that. Yeah, the community is just great. I love the bonsai community so far,
yeah, it's amazing.
except for the snobby ones.
I think I actually haven't met any. I had a few people who have been longtime members who said that they were some more snobby members, and to them it was everything was a competition. It was all about like winning first place at a club show and everything. Everyone else, it's all about bringing in the members, growing the club, teaching the new members, sharing with the new members. Like I love it. So like when I've given away a bunch of cuttings and small little trees that that I've started, because it's the same thing. When I started, that's what people did to me. If I visited anyone, here, take this, take this, take this, and I just love that collaboration. So, and on that last note, before I go, when it comes to Nigel, and I don't want to. I love Nigel.
Yeah.
So many people will say, "Oh, you never want to meet your heroes, or you never want to meet your idols, right?" And they don't live up to it. And I actually have met a few, celebrities or things like that, and some of them have been amazingly nice, and some have not. Or some sports figures. We have a lot of hockey players, pro hockey players around here. Hockey players, every single one I've met have been amazing. So when I was going to meet Nigel, I wondered, oh, is he really the great guy? Is he really that nice? Is he such a nice person in real life? He can't be. The guy seems like a saint, right? He's so helpful. He gives so much time to everyone. And you meet him in real life, he is as nice. He's an amazing man. He's so generous with his time. Like he spent time with me talking about YouTube, how to grow your channel and tips, and what's my brand, like what am I even say? He goes, oh, you're selling a lifestyle, the bonsai lifestyle. I'm like, I am? He's like, yes, you are. Like I didn't even think of that, but he had like visions for my channel and everything. And then of course the free masterclass training on how to do things in person. And like I don't know about you, but I mean, just answering people's comments, right, and all that takes a lot of time. I can't imagine how much time it takes, but he does all this for free, and he doesn't take sponsorships or endorsements or anything. Like he will never sell or try to sell anything that he doesn't 100% believe in. So basically, he doesn't sell anything. Like he doesn't have sponsorships because he's just not interested, right? He is he's an incredible man. He's not just inspired me in bonsai. I think he's inspired me to be a better person in general, with his old thing of being do something green every day, right, in his old videos, that whole thing. And even when it comes to my subscribers picks, right, I have that little section now, subscribers picks, and I felt that's actually helped to grow the channel recently. That was Nigel's idea. I mean, he had the same thing, right? He had viewers picks on his channel, and we had a big chat about it. And he said it just, took up too much of his time. He had spent a lot of time, I guess, well, compared to me, like I might get 3-4 pictures. He's getting 100 or more pictures, and he's got to sort through them and try and remember like whose picture matched with whose name or what kind of a species. And sometimes the picture quality wasn't good. All this kind of stuff. And so he's trying to fix up the picture or convert it. And it just took up so much of his time that finally, he had to drop it. Maybe someday I'll get to that level of success where I don't have the time to do the subscribers picks, but that's many years away. But anyway, but he was more than fine with me to do that. I felt like I was stealing that away from him, like maybe he might want to do it again, but no, he like I said, he's just a fantastic man.
Jay, it was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much for joining us on Bonsai-YEAH. Don't forget to check out Blue Jay Bonsai on YouTube. He's on posting all the time, so be sure to check him out. Thank you once again, Blue Jay Bonsai.
Thank you so much, Carlos. It was my pleasure.
See you later.
Yeah. Well, that's it for season 1. Yeah, how about that? We've got a full season for you winter time. Now we're going to be doing spring and summer for season 2, and then that's how we're going to do it every 2 seasons. We're doing 1 season. That's right. Well, It's been so much fun being part of your Saturday morning or whenever you watch this, really. If you guys love our content, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon. That way you're notified whenever we're live or when we're premiering a new episode. We're going to be back in 4 weeks. We're taking 4 weeks off to record a bunch of stuff. We're going to come back with all new episodes, new music, and hopefully we get some of your viewer submissions. I want to see your bonsai trees. I want to see that tree you picked up from the big box store. You gave it a little bonsai technique of, and I want to see those bonsais. So we're going to be back. Don't forget that giveaway we've got going on that day. In the meantime, be cool, stay hip, get yourself a hobby. See ya next time.